Life and Books, where we talk about our lives, books, and everything in between. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Samantha.
And we're cousins. It was like a really light tap.
A light tap because it's a very hot tea.
And full.
Grab yourself some tea and get cozy because we are ready to chat. But first, what tea are we drinking that's very hot?
It is hot. So this is the pumpkin spice tea from Tea Cellar. It came in our November box. Nope, don't want to show you that.
Nope.
You can see this part though. Okay,
we're gonna open it really quick and talk about it.
Yes. So this is the November box. I said that right?
Yes.
You want that part?
Yes, because I'm very good at reading out loud.
You are.
Oh, they made it all themed. Color for Thanksgiving. And the two teas we got are cranberry apple and pumpkin spice.
So the cranberry apple is an herbal tea.
Yes. And we're so sorry. We just realized we don't drink herbal tea a lot. It's not because we hate it. We actually do drink it at night, but just sometimes when we podcast, we need...
Yeah, not at night when we podcast. We have to be awake and like on it.
But if we're hanging out, you always are like, "Oh, hey Samantha, we need to switch to herbal tea." And I'm like, "Why?"
It does. It smells really good,
and it's
good for like when you actually want to go to sleep at night and not stay up and podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Because we like to stay up late and podcast, but it smells really good. It has apple, rosehip, cranberry, elderberry pieces, and hibiscus petals. And I also really like that they leave like steep instructions on here.
Yeah, and it's on the sticker on the bag too.
Yes. So cute.
That. And then pumpkin spice, which is what we're drinking.
That is what we're drinking. I love it. And the ingredients are loose leaf cooked pu'er.
Yes.
Pu'er, cinnamon, cardamom, whole cloves, pumpkin pie flavor, and organic ginger root.
I always think the pumpkin spice tea it's just got a lot of spice.
Spice. It is. It's a lot of... I like it. I can't wait to taste it. I haven't tried. I'm a wimp.
A little bit.
I'll let you know in the middle of the podcast when I can finally... It gets to room temp. I like things room temp. But it says on here, it actually... explains what pu'er tea is. Mm-hmm. Did you know what it is? Because I did not.
I feel like I've read it before, but I don't remember.
It's an aged tea.
Ooh.
Cheeses are aged. Wines are aged. So are teas. It gives the tea a very earthy taste, and some folks love it. Other folks just like it. Oh, and they even said that they're going to be adding baskets and gift options to the website soon, so you can buy. I know I've been in there. We can probably post some on our Instagram, but they have like little like tea boxes, so you can do like 10 samplers for $10, and you can package that, or I'll have like a teacup mixed with some tea, and it'll be all themed, like of different colors.
That's
or
really
whatever.
Fun.
It's so cute. It's perfect for Christmas. I thought about that's a good idea to like do.
We also got little caramels.
I love that.
Little caramels.
Little caramels.
And worms.
And worms. We used to save these.
Used to.
I used to. I should actually save them for my work. We could use them there.
Put it in your
boxes.
Your journal.
That's a good idea. And
have like a 3D element popping out the page.
I feel like I talked about this last time, but we are, my work is actually partnering with Tea Cellar to do our own little kid-themed tea boxes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of exciting. So the first one's already launched.
An activity?
So it has multiple activities and a video that you can watch. And it's kind of like, we went with like a Blue's Clues, like Dora, like kind of like that interactive video. And there's imaginary friends in it. And you get to do activities and drink tea with everybody.
That sounds really fun.
It's really cute. So that's that one. And the next one's Christmas. And they're kind of all themed towards cute little themes for kids. We're working on some for adults as well to partner with Tea Cellar, but I don't know.
That's so fun.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
I was like, I wish I could just do this all the time, and that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Is tea things.
Do it.
Our announcements. Should we go through those quick?
Yeah.
Get those over with.
Okay, so our next book episode is going to be December new releases.
Yes.
So if there's any books coming out in December that you're excited about, please tell us so we can make sure to talk about it.
Yes.
Next Tea Chats, we're going to be talking about the movie Happiest Season on Hulu. That's the one with Kristen Stewart and Dan Levy. There's a lot of people in it. Alison Brie, which, if you remember, she was on my top 10 list.
Oh, yeah. So this is going to be exciting.
And as an amendment, Dan Levy would be on that list if I knew that he existed.
I think we should do an updated one because now that I've thought, because we don't think about those kind of things, but now that I've thought about it, I'm like, I need to add more. I have more to add. So we should do like a second round.
Yeah, sorry about my face, but we have another bug friend.
What the heck is that?
I didn't know if you noticed. I was like...
No, I didn't. I was like, I thought you were just like encouraging me to keep talking.
I saw movement.
Oh, what is that?
It looks like a... what is that? Like a box elder? Maybe?
I don't know what a box elder is. It looks like a lightning bug, only creepier. I don't like him. No.
Oh, he keeps crawling.
The only thing that freaks me out is that he can fly.
That's true.
We always assume it's a boy because boys are disgusting and nasty. I'm just kidding.
I live with them, I know.
I know. That's how I know.
There's 4 of them in my house right now.
You're
if you count the dog.
surrounded. Okay, keep an eye on him. Should we hit him with my
I've seen
shoe?
a belcher. No. We'll let him live.
As long as he doesn't fly at my face. As long as he doesn't fly at my face, it's like he knows we're talking about him. So that's supposed to be really good. It's like a story of like coming out.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. I heard it's like sad, so get ready for that.
Ugh.
And we're also thinking about watching some like baking show, maybe.
Yeah.
I kind of want to still do that. Which one was that again?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's on Netflix and it's like
Christmas baking or something.
Yeah,
like
it's some kind of Christmas bake-off.
Sorry, I'm keeping track of the bug. While she's looking that up, also our book for this month in December is All This Time by Mickey Daughtry and Rachel Lippincott. If you haven't read it, go read it. And it will be coming out soon, which is very exciting. We were obsessed. I mean, the Great British Bake Off is always a good idea to do.
Well, apparently they have a Christmas one.
Yeah, we should just watch the Christmas version of Great British Bake Off.
I would look on Netflix, but I can't sign into Netflix on my computer yet.
Netflix, Christmas,
That's what I
cooking
looked up.
show.
But it's a...
Sugar Rush Christmas. Nailed it holiday. Is
What
it
did we
old?
see? Because they were like building gingerbread houses and stuff, weren't
Are
they?
you sure it was on Netflix? It's gone.
I think...
He went over to the other side. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Hello from the...
Don't look at me.
I'm so funny.
Okay, we give up. Let's just give up.
Okay, well...
We give up. And we can add it to like what we've watched.
Yeah, we'll talk about it if we watch it.
Yep.
That was
if we
fun.
remember. This was a good talk, guys. Bugs. All
Anyway, so for sure we're going to watch Happiest Season on Hulu.
Yes.
For the next Tea Chats.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you already said our next book is All This Time. Again, get ready for tears.
Yep, get ready to cry.
Listen, I feel like this episode, we're just going to talk about a lot of stuff that's going to make you cry.
I know, right? Sorry, I'm still blowing on my tea. I'm like hot. I want to drink it.
It's good. It's good hot.
I like warm temperature. Womb temperature.
Womb temperature.
Womb temperature.
Made in the womb.
Made in the womb. I like that temperature.
I will spit my tea out.
I'm so sorry. I just noticed that I really like everything to be warm temp. Oh my god, room temperature or warm. Womb temperature. Now I'm going to use that. I like everything womb temperature.
Please tell Kurt that.
I will.
And that's funny because I do not like things room temperature. Like if it's supposed to be hot, it has to be hot or I cannot eat it.
That's crazy.
I gotta warm it up.
I don't like it. No. I like it room temperature so I can eat it. I do 30 seconds on the microwave.
Which it does. My little rule does not apply to pizza because I do sometimes like cold pizza.
Yeah, it depends on the pizza.
But
sorry, still freaking out about that bug.
Like tea too. It's supposed to be hot. So
I mean, but I need to chug it.
A little hair.
Oh, thank you. No, I
trying
thought
to get in your cup.
Bowie. So should we talk about Volume 2 of Unsolved Mysteries?
Yeah. So overall, what did you think?
I love it. I'm always gonna love it because it's Unsolved Mysteries, and also I love the cinematography of it. It's just so good. And you're right. I do like that they let the people talk and there's no narrator.
Mm-hmm. I really do like that.
What do you think? What about you?
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I like what they're doing with the new, both Volume 1 and 2, about, like, one entire episode of both seasons. Well, I think volume, was not in English at all.
Yeah, I love that too.
I like that they're telling stories from other places. The U.S. is not the only place in the world.
Yeah, I feel like then it feels like it's more of a global show than just like a Americanized show, and that's what I think I like about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 6 episodes.
Yes.
So the first one was the Washington Insider murder, because that was the wasn't that the
older
man that like wandered, and it was super super strange.
Yes, it was super strange. So like he was like was part of the I don't want to say which military branch because I can't remember. But yeah, and then he like worked for the government and stuff, and then like he was just like, I don't know, like all of a sudden he went like missing kind of, but he was just like wandering around and couldn't find his
cameras,
like keys.
Wandering. And at one point he didn't have shoes on, I think, and then
he couldn't find his car, but he had bipolar, and so they thought that disorder, and so they thought maybe that was it. But then like all of a sudden he is like sleeping in the basement of this building, comes out in a different outfit, like dressed in black with a hood up, and then you just never seen from him again. And then he winds up in a landfill.
So do you have any theories? Like, what do you think happened?
Ooh, I don't know. See, a part of me really leans toward, I don't know. I'm torn between someone was actually after him for his job, or maybe he like made someone angry, or it was just like a random like thing.
Right. That was what I thought, because they found him at the landfill, and there was all these theories that maybe he climbed into like a dumpster for warmth and stuff, and that he was inadvertently picked up by a trash truck in the dumpster, and then that's how he died. And I don't know, I thought that seemed really plausible.
Yeah,
especially
I think so
like,
too.
They were talking about all the injuries on his body, and it seemed like a garbage truck would do a lot of like smashing things, and like, you know,
especially if something else is in there with you.
Yeah. So I thought that seemed really plausible.
I do too. I think that's it. I think that's the most plausible.
Right.
Because his stuff wasn't stolen. He had gold rings on his fingers. Like, it definitely wasn't that. But his behavior definitely seems like a mental break.
Yeah. So I think that's still a mystery. Like, what exactly was going on in those hours leading up to it?
Yeah.
But I think it's really plausible that
and what triggered it?
It was
like,
an accident of some kind.
Yes, I think so too. So, a death in Oslo.
Oh my gosh.
That was so interesting.
Weird.
Like, Kurt was like, it's boring. And then he fell asleep. And then after that was when, like, you find out she didn't have, like, tags in her clothes and no identity.
Initially, Alex said the same thing, too. He was like, if this is just about someone who died in a hotel room and they don't know who she is, like, that's not exciting. I'm like, but it's so intriguing. Like,
it is.
Who was she? Why was she under a different name? Where did all the tags in her clothes go?
Yeah, and, like, honestly, they're right. Like, the thing that, like, made me think that someone else was in there is because of the way she was holding the gun when she was found. Because there's no way when you do that your hands would be perfectly rested. There's no way. So I think, do you think in that one that there was someone involved?
Yeah.
I do too.
Well, and then the number of times that her key card got swiped in and out of her room, and she wasn't even in her room like all day. Was it the day
all
of
day
or
and all
day before?
night? Yeah.
It's just such strange circumstances, and she's not under her own name.
Yeah, see, that's why I think that she was like maybe worked for like was some sort of like sex work or something like that, and then that's like under the name, not coming home, like, you know what I mean?
Why would they cut the tags out of her clothes? Like,
see, I think she did that. I don't know why. Like, that's a weird thing. I think it must have been like something with her. I don't think she was like some FBI agent.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's just so weird. Well, and then that was the one too, right? Where they were gonna use like GEDmatch to try and find relatives.
Oh yeah.
So I did 23andMe, and then I uploaded my results to GEDmatch just because, like, I don't know, like a lot of people are saying they don't want, like, one of my coworkers said he doesn't want to do it because, like, what if he does have a, like, murderer in the family or something?
Well, then they should be in jail.
Well, and he was like, what if they did it for a good reason? And I'm like, still.
Nope.
Also, if I have, like, any long-lost relatives that I didn't know about, I want to know about them.
Yeah, exactly. Death Row Fugitive was insanity.
So that is one that I actually have to go back and watch because I only watched bits and pieces.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to spoil it for you because then we can't. I'll kind of go over it because I haven't watched Stolen Kids, so you're gonna have to go over it for me.
That was the one that I happened to fall asleep watching.
No, so it's basically this guy escaped death row. Like, he was on death row, and he escaped.
But they were letting the
prison.
prisoners go shopping without any supervision.
Yes. And so, like, basically, yeah, he's still missing. Like, they think that he's still, like, taking odd jobs and painting and stuff like that, but he's still missing.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
In this day and age, it's crazy for someone to just go missing like that.
Yep. And to stay, because he was
to stay missing.
hidden.
That is crazy. Someone has to know who he is.
Oh, his father does. They're convinced that his dad knows exactly where he is.
That is crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Tsunami Spirits. I didn't get to finish this one because you said it was sad, so I wasn't going to listen to it at work.
I cried.
Yeah.
That was the one I had to watch by myself because Alex fell asleep. But I just thought it was really... I mean, it's really devastating.
It is devastating. And to just, like, see a giant wall of water rushing towards you and there's nothing, it's just terrifying.
And God, the one guy talks about he's all that's left. Like, he found his daughter.
Oh, yeah, I watched that. That was hard.
And then he found his wife. And, like, it's just so devastating.
It is.
So it's no surprise that these people are, like, feeling the residual energy.
Yeah, because a lot of energy... You know, a lot of things happen. Energy doesn't go away. Mm-hmm. So it's just insane. I don't know. I'm nervous to watch the rest of it.
I did, I pulled a quote from it too that I really liked that I don't know what his proper title is. I think he's a monk.
Oh, yeah, because he said something like how are you supposed to prepare for something like this?
He said something really that I thought was like really poignant, and I like had to keep pausing and writing it down because I just wanted to keep that. I just thought it was really nice. Did I write it in my notes?
Did I write everything in my notes app?
Because I think I put it in my notes, but then also in my commonplace book.
Yeah, he seemed like devastated as well because he's like, what can I do? And like, why does this keep happening over and over again?
So he said, when big disasters happen, people's ranges tend to expand, enabling them to see what's not supposed to be seen and hear what's not supposed to be heard. They feel rather than think. In everyday life, we sacrifice our need to feel without even knowing it. And his name is Reverend Teo Kenda?
Yeah.
Kaneda? Buddhist monk.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that one was...
Yeah, oof. A lot. Okay, Lady in the Lake.
Did you watch that one?
I did.
Okay.
I'm not at the end yet. I'm like 10, 15 minutes away from the end.
So
she's the one who was at the church, and then all the cops came and were like, oh, she committed suicide. And they're like, how did you come to that? And then they're like, nope, this is how it is. And this is the theory we're going with.
Like, first of all, if she was going to do that, why would she walk out of the church that she goes to all the time and just walk into the lake?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And she had fueled up her gas tank before that.
Uh-huh. It just doesn't, like, why, of all the ways, why would you choose to walk into a lake?
Yeah, and so her body is, like, found, like, 35 miles. Mm-hmm. There's, like, it's so not plausible that, like, how she got there. And when you're, like, asking the cops, like, she's in high heels, and she was found in her high heels. So you're saying she walked down this embankment on those high heels. And, like, even, like, the footprints don't match high heels. Like, it's, like, I'm watching this, like, I'm not even a cop, and I wouldn't be like, yep, those are her footprints because she's in heels.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever walked in heels in snow? It's awful. That's not how it looks.
Not to mention an incline that's basically almost up and down.
And then she just walks into the water?
Right.
Like... What? And so
none of it makes sense.
No, so I think there was definitely foul play. People said that her car was missing for a while.
Yeah, it was gone and then it was back.
And then they said, oh, like they didn't think that her purse being torn was foul play. It was a designer purse. Like it must have just been like that. It was a designer purse. When designer purses are expensive, people aren't gonna like walk around with them ripped.
Right.
And it was brand new.
Was it her purse in her car?
It was in her car on her seat, but the daughter says that she always wore it on her left arm, and so it makes sense why it was torn. Mm-hmm. And they think they staged it to look like she like just disappeared or killed herself.
What?
So they think I think that the girl. I didn't get to the end, but the daughter's theories were like her dad or like her brother used to be a police officer, so someone like trying to get even with her brother. Mm-hmm. And then that's where
or random.
Yeah, a random.
But yeah, I don't think she walked into the lake.
No,
but it just doesn't make sense.
She said that she was felt like she was being watched and being stalked. And that could be like a random stalker that it's not random, but like a stalker she doesn't even know about. Mm-hmm. Ugh, it's so creepy being a woman. I hate it.
All right, the
All right,
last one is Stolen Kids. That was another one that I could just sit and cry watching it.
Oh, no.
It was about two different little boys that went missing in, I believe it was New York City, in the 80s. One little boy, his mom had two kids, and the kids were playing at the park with all these other kids, and seemed fine. And she had gone to the store or something while his grandma watched all the kids, and she came back and he was just gone.
I hate that.
They searched everywhere and he was gone. There's no trace of him anywhere. And then not long after that, there was another woman who, same thing, like she took her little boy to the park, and I think he was only like 18 months, not even talking yet. And she took him to the park, and she said when she first walked in, there was a little girl who was about 10 and a boy who was about 6 that asked if they could play with him. And she said, no, just, leave us alone. And they kept insisting. So she's like, okay, he wants to go down the side, go take him down the side. So they went, she was watching him, and she sat down on a bench, and a man came and sat next to her, and she turned to look at the man to answer whatever question he asked her. And when she turned back, he was gone.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
What was really heartbreaking about her story too is she didn't think that she could get pregnant.
Oh no.
And she was in her, I think she said she was 32 or 33, something like that, when she got pregnant. And this was like her miracle baby. And stolen, gone. There's no trace.
So they think the kids, where were the kids? Were the kids gone too? So the kids had something to do with it?
I don't know that they touched back on that. I think she said that maybe they were like part of it,
That's what I think so. That's what people do.
Right. So, but yeah, those kids were never found again. And then at the end of the episode, they play a bunch of pictures of other missing kids from around the same time.
That's freaking awful.
Also, in that, they talk about a girl who, she was only a few weeks old, and her mom had brought her to the hospital because she had a fever, and this woman dressed as a nurse came and stole the baby, and they never found her. And that little girl found out who she was when she was like in her 20s because she couldn't get her birth certificate. She didn't have a valid birth certificate. She was stolen by that nurse because the nurse couldn't have kids, so she stole the baby.
And raised her.
Uh-huh.
So her mom is her kidnapper.
So she got reunited, and her kid, her mom got arrested.
Wonder how she feels about it. Did she say how she feels about that?
They just did like a little brief thing because they were kind of saying like, there's hope. There's hope for these kids that are missing.
Yeah, yeah.
There's hope that these little boys are still alive somewhere, that they got like sold to someone who couldn't have kids.
Yeah, people will buy out, it's insane. I hate it.
So
adopt. Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, there's hope, and then they play a ton of pictures at the end of the episode of other missing children with age progression and stuff.
Yeah.
That was another one that just really hit, because I think that's one of my biggest fears, but I think it's a big fear of a lot of parents.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're just gonna be gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why you get like, my mom was super like paranoid.
Well,
and I would be too.
Panicky. I mean, I just did it last Friday night, because we went to take our car back to the rental place, and Nicole and Cameron were coming over, and when Alex and I got back, like Nicole and Cameron were here, and Raylan was showing us this stuff he was doing, and I said, where's your brother? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know? Where's your brother? Like, I'm walking through the house and I don't see him. Where is he? And then I asked Nicole if she had seen him since she came in, and she's like, no, like we just got here. I didn't, and so that was when I started to panic, because I'm like, it's dark out. No one knows where he is. Like, Raylan, you're supposed to be home with him. What do you mean? Of course he was hiding from me.
Oh, that's lovely.
But it's those panic moments where it's like, I need to see him.
Yes. I need to
have
eyes on you.
confirmation that he's okay.
Oh my gosh.
I just can't imagine.
No, it makes you never want to like ever let kids out of your sight. Ever.
No.
Okay. Let's try to get lighter topics. Yes.
So, but let us know what you guys thought of the episodes.
Yes.
Which ones really got you, because I feel like you can tell by the ones that we talked about the most.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Which ones got to us.
All right, what Elizabeth's been listening to, because I am still obsessed with Dateline.
Oh my gosh, I haven't listened to Dateline in a while. I'm going to have a nice backlog.
It's really good. They've gotten some good ones.
Oh, shoot.
Like more recent stuff they're coming out with, like the woman who went missing on the army base on Fort.
Yeah.
Talk about her. They talk about these 2 girls who like went missing. Oh yeah, it's very like it's newer stuff. It's so good. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I gotta get back into that. So I don't know what started my search, but I decided to search for some witchy podcasts.
Ooh, I love that.
And I found Witch Wednesdays.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And so it's these 2 friends from the Midwest. They both went to school in Iowa. Like,
really?
They went to Iowa University.
Oh, nice.
And one of them still lives in Iowa. The other one lives in Chicago, I think. But anyway, they decided to take the year of 2020, and every Wednesday they do a podcast and they talk a little bit about like witchcraft. They tell you like they pick a topic and just tell you like a little bit about it. So
cool.
So it's one of those that like if you're curious about what witchcraft is, you know, in 2020, like what that means, they from the beginning. So that's what I did. I started back at the beginning, and they just kind of they give you little bits, you know. It's not
That's
like
cool.
It's not super in depth, and it's not I don't know. I don't feel like it's like super woo woo. Like I just think it's really interesting and informative. And like, so one girl is she practices witchcraft, but she's also a Wiccan.
Oh.
And then the other girl is not religious at all. So she reminds me a lot of me.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just really interesting because I think that's just interesting stuff to learn about, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is.
I know they do episodes on like crystals, tarot cards, like all of the above. They do an episode on like the different holidays.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I want Death Sauce.
So it's...
I was going to say something and then I just...
So it's really interesting. From what I understand, they're only doing it through 2020 and then that's it. But I guess, I don't know. I don't know if it's gotten super popular and they're going to continue or what. But that was their plan when they started.
Oh, I like it.
All right. So also, I don't know if I talked about it on here, possibly Dr. Death,
I don't
season
remember.
1. It was about this doctor named Dr. Dench who performed these surgeries that he had no idea what he was doing.
That's terrifying.
And he basically, his best friend, he convinced his best friend that he needed this surgery to help with his back pain, and he basically cut off his head. When
in a hospital?
Yeah, when another doctor went in to like see what they could do to help him, he told him that there was hardly anything holding his head onto his body. Yes. And he paralyzed him. When he woke up, he couldn't move anything. The man can still speak, and move his face, but that's it.
In a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't get removed?
He left a lot of like, of the packing materials and stuff in his neck. He still can. Did he get kicked out after that?
Finally,
I think he's been convicted now. But so that's what season 1 of Dr. Death is about. It's wild. But then because of that podcast, they got a lot of mail and emails and stuff from people who have dealt with bad doctors.
I don't know if I could watch that.
So there's a season 2 about this man who basically was just very greedy. And he was an oncologist, so a cancer doctor.
Okay.
And he was like really renowned. Like all these people said that he was so good at what he did. But what he did was tell people that they had cancer when they did not. And then he made these people go through chemotherapy with that didn't need it.
I hate that.
Or if they did need it, he made them stay on it long after they needed it until it killed them. And all of it was just for the money, so he could keep charging for the chemo.
Oh my gosh. So he killed people that were healthy?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't
like this.
Frightening, but
It's
I just
terrifying.
think it's very...
I trust doctors right now. I don't know if I want to lose that trust.
Well, so then the host does an episode with a doctor about like how people can feel confidence in doctors after listening to this. And I think that's really good to listen to.
That is, because I'm now, even just hearing about it, I'm now skeptical.
Well, because she encourages, second opinions, because when you listen to these stories, some of these people, you're kind of like, hey, like, why didn't you get a second opinion when because this one woman is talking about how he's telling her she has cancer and she has this like really rare disease and it's awful and blah, blah, blah. And she needs all these treatments. And she's like, but I feel fine. She's like, I don't even feel sick. I think at that point I would have got a second opinion. I would have went to another doctor and been like, hey, can you just run some blood tests and tell me what's going on?
Yeah.
And obviously that's not to blame the victim. He was victimizing all of these people. I was going to say,
he's also very manipulative, it sounds like. So.
Yes, he made all these people think that they were very sick and that they needed him.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying, but also sounds really interesting.
Intriguing? I don't know what word I want to say, but... Because I don't want to say interesting, because like this is people's lives.
Yeah. It's very intriguing because you don't hear about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a very highly publicized topic, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. But for whatever reason, if you decide to listen to this, Dr. Death Season 1 and Dr. Death Season 2, Wondery put them out as two separate podcasts. They're not in the same feed.
Why?
They have a different... I don't know. Because I thought I was like watching the Dr. Death podcast for Season 2 and it was never coming. And I'm like, it's supposed to be out. Where is it? So I found it by searching it. It's a separate podcast. It doesn't make sense, but it is what it is.
Maybe they'll hear this and combine them.
Right. Okay, finally, last one. I don't know if I talked about it last time. Did I? I started listening to I started listening to Sinisterhood. It's a podcast that reminds me a little bit of And That's Why We Drink. They talk about different like true crime or creepy things. And what got me started listening to them was they talk about Britney Spears and her.
I think you did talk about this. Yes. But so, good reminder, because I haven't started it, and that's when I was like, I'm gonna start this.
Yeah.
Dateline.
Well, now I need to get back to Dateline though, because I'm excited. I've built up enough that I can listen to it like for a day.
Yeah, see, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, that sounds so, these all sound so good. Oh, the doctor one gives, I don't know why. I think it's because I have health issues.
Yeah. And
so I like rely on them, but I'm also very, very, very picky about what goes in my body.
Yes. And that was another thing that the doctor suggests too when, she does the interview saying like, how can we trust doctors now? She's like, ask a lot of questions. And if your doctor kind of scoffs at you or like, acts like they have an answer when they don't have one, like those are the red flags. If your doctor looks at you and says, I'm not sure, let's look into this.
Yep, that's what my doctor does.
That's a very good thing.
Yes, she's always like, I'm not a specialist in this. This is my opinion. Let's get a second one. She's amazing. But I did have a doctor in college that would over-medicate me. Ugh. And when I was sick, they prescribed like 4 different things. Mm-mm. And like after a while, I was like, why am I taking these? Like, I don't like to, unless you're going to explain to me why I am taking this, don't, like, that's what I think the doctors that I go to now, especially the newest one, is like, I'm like, if it doesn't need to go in my body, if it's not a necessity, I don't want it. Because I already have enough crap going on. I don't need to like have something else that's supposed to be helping me that you think would help me but isn't. Yeah. If that makes sense. Because they were just like, I was like, I called my mom in college. I was like, Mom, they're just prescribing me pills after pills after pills. And I'm like, I don't like this feeling of just being like, instead of listening to me and trying to figure it out. And they're they're just handing me pills. And they're the same ones that said that I had a bad yearly checkup. Pap smear. Mm-hmm. And I had to get scraped and all this stuff. Turns out, nope. They messed up. I was so mad. That's the last time I went there. And then they also had me, like, my back was broken. I'm like, no, like, I just have, like, a growing disease in my legs and it makes my back look a little weird. Like, and all this stuff. They kept, like, diagnosing me with all this stuff, trying to, like, I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. And I was like, I'm just me. Like, I'm fine. I feel fine. I don't know why you're like...
Right.
Because I was naive. I was like a freshman and I believed that,
Well, and I think that's one of the things too is like, you have to listen to your body. And like, if you're feeling fine and someone's telling you, no, you're sick, it's like, what?
Yeah. And also and like the other way, like, your body. If something's wrong, listen to it. Mm-hmm. Like with my thyroid. Like, yeah, my thyroid isn't that elevated, but they can't get it to go down.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much they try. And then they found a cyst in my thyroid. So it's like, maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so just keep pushing it. Get second opinions and push the issue.
Right.
Because I agree. Only you know your body. And if you feel something in your, like, is wrong and you're not just a hypochondriac, because sometimes I get that way, then, like, seriously, like, yeah.
Right.
Get help.
Yes.
What we've been watching.
Do you want to go first since I've been talking a lot?
I mean, sure. You put Schitt's Creek update, and now I want to know what that is. So you have to tell me that first before we go.
I feel like I might have told you, but I know I did not update on the podcast, which I feel really bad because we watched episode 1 for the podcast.
I know, and I've been, like, watching it. Did you? It's a little spoiler. Did you know your mom's been really loving it?
Mm-hmm.
And she's been laughing. My mom's like, I hear her laughing, and I was like, you need to watch Schitt's Creek, Mom. It's so good.
So I watched it all.
Mm-hmm.
I finished it. Cried my face off. And then when you finish it, Netflix suggests that you watch the documentary about it.
Oh, yeah.
And the documentary goes over, like, the filming of the last season. So I cried my face off some more.
Oh, my gosh.
And then I
finished it. I'm proud of you.
Promptly restarted it. And I'm already back on season 3.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's where I'm at.
Another thing you can do, what they usually do is the last table reading. They'll usually record it.
That's part of the documentary.
Because I watched that of, it ended recently, and I started bawling.
Oh my God.
I was like, why did I watch this? Like, because all the actors it's Game of Thrones, when they read the last reading of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And, Emily or?
Yeah, Amelia. Clark.
She just gets that face and just starts bawling, and I'm like, now I'm crying. And I only watched the first and last episode.
Oh my God. But yeah, so now that I'm rewatching it, there's so many parts where, like, the first watch through, I wasn't emotionally affected, and now I'm crying constantly on this show.
I can't wait to watch it a second time.
It's just so good. And they talk in the documentary too about, like, how the show changed things. You know, it created this world where there is no what do I want to say? There are no people who have a problem with anyone's sexuality. Like, that does not exist in their world.
Yeah, I love that.
And
I wish that existed in our world.
Just watch it. So
yeah, guys. Oh, okay. I need to start watching it. I just needed to.
It's just so good, and I love David. Like, I'm in love with David.
I love the quick-witted humor. I love anyone who has, like, a quick, like, back. I love that. Okay, I'll start talking.
Okay.
So I watched a couple movies. I didn't realize I just needed something to, like, I was just having a long week, and I was like, I want to watch something that's just gonna, like, zone me out. And it was Enola Holmes on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a show. It's a movie. So I was watching it.
I feel like I thought it was advertised as a show too.
So I'm watching it, and I'm like, this episode's really long, and I was like, oh my God, it's a movie. But it was so good. I highly recommend.
Because it's Millie Bobby Brown?
Yes, which, oh God, love her. She's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. And it's basically Sherlock Holmes' sister, and she has another older brother who's, like, more, like, stick in the mud, works for the government. Minecraft, yeah. And apparently this is a book series, which I did not know. I was going to have it ready, and I didn't. But it's so good. It will make you, like, be, like, yay being a woman, like, very much like I wanted to go out and, like, do things, because I don't want to spoil it, because I really think that you should watch it. I think you would really like it. I think the boys would. And I love Enola stands for alone, and her mom. Yeah,
it's alone backwards.
Yes, and her mom. It's by the book series is by Nancy Springer.
Okay,
and her mom is the woman who played Bellatrix Lestrange.
Really?
And I noticed she's one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah.
Because she was in, like, Sweeney Todd. She just molds into the character so well. But she's the mom. And she basically raises Enola, like, not like a woman of her time.
Yeah.
Like, she teaches her how to fight, and she teaches her how to do all stuff. And then one morning, Enola wakes up and she's gone. But she's left, like, mysteries for her to follow, breadcrumbs.
Okay, I need to watch
It's so good. I'd watch it with you again. Like, I'm going to watch it again. That's how good it was. And I've already, like, I'm going to start reading the books.
Oh my God.
The differences I've noticed is that Enola is 14 in the books when she's 16, because obviously Millie Bobby Brown's older. And also, being 14 off on your own sounds a little less in that time period than 16, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, she goes off to London, and it's so good.
It sounds really good. So is the book series middle grade? Yeah.
Young adult, children's, juvenile, so middle grade.
I wonder if the boys would like it.
I think they actually would.
Yeah.
And it made me want to read those books that we met her at Epic Reads, and she writes something of like a. It made me also.
It's Brittany something,
Yep.
right?
Yep, Brittany
Cav something.
Yep. Cava.
Cave?
I think I spelled Brittany wrong because I always spell it like my best friend, Brittany. Yep. Brittany Cavallaro.
Yeah.
A study in
Charlotte.
Charlotte Holmes. So it's very much like women power, which God, yes. So you need to watch it. It's so good.
Which I don't know if you know this, but I have like a super huge thing for Sherlock Holmes. Like,
are you talking to them? Are you talking to them if they know it or if I know it? Because I know
them.
I know you're a crazy person. I bought you stuff.
Like I have a whole shelf full of Sherlock Holmes stuff because I like the original stories. But I think my love of it started from this series. It's another series about a woman named Mary Russell, and she meets Sherlock Holmes after he retires.
What is that series?
Well, it's Mary Russell.
Here I can look it up. I have it up. Okay. But I remember you talking. That's what I was like. I remember you talking about this.
The first one is something about bees. I can't think.
Mary Russell, the
Beekeeper's Apprentice is the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what started your love. I guess I did not know that fact.
Well, because
Fun facts.
I remember finding this book at the library.
Okay.
And in the front of the book, like before you start reading the actual story, there's a note from the author, and she describes how this trunk showed up on her porch one day and it was full of all this memorabilia and letters from Mary Holmes. And so it was just really kind of cool, or Mary Russell, sorry. So it was just really kind of cool how it started out, because then I was like, is Sherlock Holmes real? You know, this was when I was like,
I was going to ask how old you were.
And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He wasn't real, right? But it was a really cool concept, I think.
Yeah.
And then I became obsessed. So I really like stories about Sherlock Holmes,
yes.
but also, you know, where they spin it somehow.
I think I'm finally getting into Sherlock Holmes because I watched the...
Oh, yeah. Sherlock?
Is it called Sherlock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love that. I haven't finished it because I don't want to. I don't want it to end.
A lot of the fans don't like the ending, which I don't think I've ever watched the end either, like the last season.
The last season, they go back in time or something like that, or a part of it. Anyway, I just didn't want it to end. So I like that. I also really, growing up, I was so frustrated when I'd read and watch things with male leads. Mm-hmm. I never had crushes on them. I wanted to be them. And so watching someone be the main character and a character that is so beloved, like it makes me want to read more like female or write more female like lead characters and things. And like, that's what I was like, I want to go read all of like the books that have like strong female leads who are detectives.
Yes, I like it. Well, we just talked about one last week in our November new releases that I really want to read. That's about like a woman who stumbles upon a murder and then gets accused of the murder. And,
see, that's what I love those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is so random. I mean, I like Shawn Mendes. Apparently, Kurt loves Shawn Mendes. This is a thing I did not know about.
Who is that?
He was a Vine star. And then he's like an incredible singer. He's like 21.
Oh, okay. His face is super funny.
Yeah, he sings Senorita, I'll Treat You Better, Stitches. You probably know Stitches. Da 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 da. I'll be.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know of him. I will play some music. We can't play it on here. But so I just like really.
Oh, that's how I know his name. Okay, sorry.
How do you know him? I need to know.
No, I know the name. Because I was like, why do I know? What is his name?
Shawn Mendes.
Yes. Okay. They talk about him in a Brockhampton song.
Oh my God. But you have to, I think you know his songs. They've been on the radio. I've probably played them.
Yeah.
Alex probably played them. But I really enjoy watching like behind the scenes, like videos of like documentaries of people. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
My first one was like, I think Amy Winehouse. And have you seen that one? No. I know I've talked about it. One of the best ones I've ever seen.
Really?
So good. I just like watching people's lives because you can't imagine how they go through that kind of stuff because you're put in this immense pressure.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that. And he's so young and so talented. And it popped up on Netflix and I was like, this looks like something, I don't know anything about him. So I'm not like going into it as a fan. I'm going into it as like, it's like more of a documentary.
Yeah.
And it was just so interesting to see like just his life and how hard he's worked at 21. He's already like this mega superstar, and he writes his songs, and like he's like I just feel like if I'm not the best, then like I'm not doing what I should be doing. And it's just it's so good. I was like, this is really good. I'm not a Shawn Mendes fan, but like I like his music.
Yeah.
Apparently Kurt really likes him and wants to go see him in concert. So I was like, I didn't know that you really like Shawn Mendes that much. But I think he just likes a couple of his songs. But so yeah, that was another thing I watched that was kind of interesting. And then I'm sure Raylan's gonna love this.
Oh God.
I can't stop watching Dude Perfect.
Oh my God.
Because they do things that I want to do. I want to have an airsoft gun and run around and shoot people. I want to do that. I want to like all the stuff they do.
So funny, because I remember when he first told me about this YouTube channel, I was like, what? What's it called? The Dude Bros or Bro Dudes or something?
I feel like when you do that, it makes me feel like an idiot, because I'm watching them too.
Well, because I could never remember what it was called. So then I was like, so what are you watching? Are you watching Dude Bros? And he's like, that's not what it's called. I'm like, I'm sorry, but they do bottle flipping.
Yes. And so I haven't watched that stuff, but
they were really, really into bottle flipping for a while.
Oh,
so
gosh. Well, like,
that's what got them started on it.
So I like the stuff they like do challenges where it's like they have to get out of a corn maze the fastest, or like stuff like, I like challenges. And then also they do like craft challenges, which make me laugh. So they do like pumpkin carving or painting, and like the person, and they're just like 5 best friends who play against each other constantly. Okay. And so they do funny stuff like that. There's like the wheel of unfortune, whoever loses.
Seems like it's a little bit like Unis Honest. Maybe
yeah, I would say so. I think that's probably why I like it. And it's not like super bro-y.
Not that I watched that either.
Yeah, it's not like super bro-y.
It's just the name of the channel that made me think that.
Yeah, but I thought it was, that's why I didn't watch it, because I was like, okay, they're perfect. Like, they're just doing trick shots of perfect. But it's like, oh, they're actually not perfect. They're just like competing against each other to do things. And it's just really interesting.
Yeah. Well, and the boys watch a lot of YouTube channels that are very annoying, and the guys are like yelling and acting very bro-y. So when he said Dude Perfect, and I'm like, dude, bro.
Yeah, I did the same thing. And then I saw they were doing like a Call of Duty kind of thing, and I was like, I'm interested. What is this?
Maybe I'll have to check it out.
Okay. And then we both, I have infiltrated the Smith household with Twitch. And
I don't know.
Given you guys the addiction, because I've been watching Twitch for years, just like watching it.
Of all of the channels that you've told me to watch, I don't know why Jason Suley is the one that stuck, but it is.
I love him. He's so funny.
Because he streams almost every night.
Yeah.
And we watched him almost every night last week. He's so hilarious.
He's so funny. And him and Julian are just
together.
Hilarious.
It's like a tornado.
Yes, it is. It is. And they mess with each other constantly, and it's just really funny.
Like tonight, Alex was watching it when we came out here, and he started his stream off singing Evanescence
Wake Me Up
while playing Dead by Daylight.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so funny.
He's just so hilarious. I love when he screams.
I know, I do too.
Which, because like the first time I was watching him, I'm like, oh, this guy's a lot, but he grows on you so quickly.
He does. Well, and it's like he yells and he's like, he's trying so hard in a game that he doesn't like, especially Among Us. He doesn't like notice things, and it's just so funny.
Well, and he blew up because of his reaction to Corpse.
Yeah.
Which it's just so funny.
It's so, I just feel genuine. Like, it's him. Like, he wasn't he's not doing these things to like blow up.
Right.
It's his genuine reaction.
That's what I feel like he is all of us. Like, he is what we want to be saying. He's saying it, and he's doing it. Like, when he's like playing a game and he screams because he's excited or because he's scared, it's like, that's what I would be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a scary game he's playing.
Oh gosh, yeah. And like the others that I've been watching is Julian Solomita, or Julian 2 is what his Twitch name is, Chris Melberger, and Crank Gameplays, because they all kind of play together a lot. And then they bring other people in, and if I like enjoy like listening to them, then I'll like go and follow them too.
Yes. I was trying to think if there's any others that we've been watching.
Paladin, Amanda. She's really good. She's Australian.
I love her voice.
Granny, who is a drag queen.
Granny is hilarious. I love when Granny plays with like Jason Suley and Julian.
Yes, and my favorite is like Granny's so busy focusing on their chat that they sometimes don't know what's going on in the game, and it's just really funny. They're like, it's by that one thing, the lever or whatever. And I was just like, that's freaking hilarious and so smart to like stay in your character for Twitch. Like that's why
it's
that's so
crazy.
smart, so smart.
I can barely be myself most days.
Same. Okay, you go.
Okay, so actually just last night, I've been wanting to watch The Great British Baking Show forever, and finally last night I started it, which Netflix has 8 seasons.
My mom and I have been looking for something to binge.
And I started back at season 1. It's so, like, it just makes me want to bake.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I'm like I used to bake and cook a lot more, and I haven't done it much lately. But it just makes me want to bake. So, like, their very first challenge is to make a Swiss cake roll. And I'm like, I can do that. Why can't I do that? I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you should. I know. It like makes you want to like try stuff.
Yes.
But Mom and I are finally, well, I've been done with Love Island and she's finally getting done with it. So I was like, she's like, we need another show.
Was there was just a season on?
Yeah, I don't know.
US?
Yeah. I haven't watched that one, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But I meant like the UK ones,
gotcha.
the good ones.
Yeah, the good ones.
So she's like, we need to find another show. But I think she likes our trash TV, so I don't know.
Oh my God. So watch 90 Day Fiancé. I forgot to put that on the list.
90 Day Fiancé.
So Hulu dropped 90 Day Fiancé season 6 and 7.
Ooh, I'm going to have to tell her.
So I watched season 6, and then they also dropped 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After season 4, which follows some of the couples from season 6 of OG 90 Day Fiancé. So that's what I'm watching now is Happily Ever After, and then I'm going to go back and watch season 7.
Oh my gosh.
Love that show. It's so bad.
It's so bad.
So I binged it on Sunday, and Raylan was like laying with me on the couch, and he looked at me after a while. He goes, "Why do you watch this?"
Like, how do you explain it?
Well, I told him, I said, okay, you know how our life is pretty like chill and there's not a lot of drama. I was like, I like it like that, but I also like drama. So I watch it on TV.
Yes, because I don't want it a part of my life.
Right. And also, I think the way other people live their life is very interesting.
Yes, I do like we like people watching.
Yes. I just think it's super interesting how someone can decide that they are gonna go live in a country halfway across the world and like,
right?
Leave everything they've ever known behind and like
let people film them.
Basically put all their lives in one, or all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Everything.
Oh gosh.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
It's very fascinating. Ugh.
We talking about my next thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the other thing I've been watching a lot of is YouTube journalers.
Oh yeah.
Like all the people who journal on YouTube.
All of them. I found them all.
Amanda Rachel Lee, Plan with Chloe. Who else? I don't know. There's so many. Maybe I need to put together a list or something for the next episode, because once I catch up with all of them, because it doesn't take me very long, then I just go to the search bar and I'm like, plan with me or journal with me. I just love it.
I know. I did catch myself last night going through the hashtag art journaling on Instagram and liking a bunch of posts. So
I really like the reels or the IGTV videos that people do of them like doing things in their journal. Oh, I just love it. I just love it.
Yeah, so we've been art. Did we talk about this last time?
Yes.
Okay. So
no, you talked about it. I haven't talked about it.
Oh yeah.
I should have talked about this last, so it would lead into our next topic.
It's leading into our next topic. Right.
Yeah. I just had one more thing I was going to talk about.
Okay, talk about it really quick.
I'm so sorry.
Bounce.
I just wanted to quick tell you guys about a documentary I started watching just tonight.
Oh, yes. For some reason, I thought that was what we just talked about. I don't know why.
But so Alex actually started watching it. It's called The Orange Years, the Nickelodeon story.
Yes, I saw a trailer for this.
So much nostalgia. And this jerk. So he had already watched most of it. And then I jumped in at the last, I don't know, probably a half an hour. And so when I jumped in, it was talking about Snick. Do you remember Snick? It was Nickelodeon, Saturday night Nickelodeon. So it was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah. I love Are You Afraid of the Dark?
What else? I don't know. It was the shows for older kids.
Yeah.
So that was what it was talking about. And then he paused it at one point and he's like, because it had shown a clip of Linda Ellerby.
Yeah.
Which you remember her.
Yes.
So he's like, oh, do you remember when Magic Johnson was on Linda Ellerby's show talking about being HIV positive? And I was like, no, I do not. So he rewound it to the clip for me so I could cry my face off because there's a little girl in the, like, because, you know, Linda Ellerby always had a group of kids sitting there and then they talk about current events and stuff.
Yeah.
There was a little girl sitting there and Linda Ellerby says, so who all here is HIV positive?
Oh my gosh.
And there's 2 kids that raise their hand and one little girl starts sobbing and Magic Johnson has to like talk to her and tell her it's okay. And I'm a bucket of tears.
I don't remember this.
I know, I don't either. And Alex looked at me and I was like, why did you rewind it specifically to this spot so I would cry? What is wrong with you? Because I just kept going, she's so little.
Yeah.
She's just so little. It's heartbreaking. So anyway, go watch that.
Super. Oh my God. That does remind me of something that I just started getting into. Like, okay, there's this, okay, one more thing I've been watching. It's a YouTube channel called Repzion. I enjoy his voice a lot. He has like, I would say like he has a good voice for like radio or podcasting.
Oh.
And so he does like kind of like exposés on like internet people. Not exposés, but like documentaries.
Markiplier?
Where? Yeah, so he just basically talks about like things that are going on in the internet world that maybe like I don't know about, you don't know about. Mm-hmm. He's very deep into it. So like Leafy was here is a big one. Onision, he's like this predator. I could just we should talk about that another time. But the Zoe Laverne files. So she's a TikToker. I talked to Kurt about this because I just kept the same thing. I was like, he's so young. He's so little. So like, of course, like I like his voice. So I just listen to it. And he does like Karen's Gone Wild and he just like talks. It's just, I don't know. I like his voice. And so it's this TikToker who's 19 turning 20 and she was dating a 13-year-old boy.
No.
Like there's pictures of them kissing.
No.
I looked up this little boy's pictures and it just crushed me that someone could do that and no one's seeing her as a predator. And she's still talking to him. She gets on his live things on TikTok and says, I miss you. And I was like, this is so wrong.
Ew.
She needs to be in jail.
I will have an 11-year-old in like 5 months.
Yes.
That's far too close to.
And she's almost 20 years old. I'm sorry to bring that down, but like, it's just terrifying. Like this girl needs to be in jail.
You didn't bring it down. I started talking about Magic Johnson.
That's a good point. But like, it just reminded me of YouTube channel.
Not Magic Johnson. I started talking about the little girl. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's what reminded me of like when you said like she's so little. Yes. I was like, he's so little. Like I looked up his and I'm like, oh my God, like that is disgusting.
Yes.
Oh, I hate people. All right, no more talk about sucky stuff.
Okay, so our next topic was going to be about creative hobbies, which we were talking about art journaling.
Yes.
We've been watching all the YouTube journalers and art journalers and people on Instagram, and you had started your art journal.
Yeah, because I just not, like, in my brain, I want to be a bullet journaler. I just can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Follow through and like staying, like making things like really neat. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what you have to do and I can't do it. So you're like, you'd be good at like art journaling or junk journaling.
Yeah.
So I kind of mixed the two.
Yeah. Well, and then last Saturday you were over because we had a failed attempt at going to rent a car.
Yes. We're adults who we pulled an 80-year-old thing where we didn't look at the time.
Uh-huh. I assumed that car rental places are open in the afternoon on Saturday because that makes sense in the world.
Yes, no, apparently everything closes at noon on Saturdays.
It's like, when else do you want to rent a car?
Mm-hmm.
It's Saturday afternoon. Okay, anyways. But so we came back and I started my art journal and we did a couple pages and it was really, I'm addicted.
I feel like it's a good release, like a good creative release where it's like you make decisions and it's okay if they're good and it's okay if they're bad because you're just creating and I love it.
Well, we watched that one video with Jordan Clark and that's what she talks about how it's just like art is just about making decision, like one decision after the next. Like you make a decision and then you move on and make another decision. And I really like that.
Yes, I love it. I haven't done it since because I've just been like super busy and super like, I don't want to just like do it because I feel like I have to do it. I want to do it because I want to do it. And I want to be able to sit down with all my stuff and do it and not just sit down with like, I only have half an hour to do this. You know what I mean?
Right. And I've been telling myself I'm only going to do it if I feel inspired by something.
Good. Yeah.
So like that day that we first did it, I had gotten a new bracelet from the Melanin Moon.
Oh yeah.
And she sent me a poem on the back of her business card. So that was my like inspiration. And then I did another one with my tea bag from the day.
Yeah.
And then I just did a new one that I'm gonna have to show you.
Yeah. So like I've been doing the same thing. I have a little clip that I like keep. I've always been a pack rat by nature. I don't know why. I think it stems from like not wanting. I thought when I was little the worst thing you could do was litter.
Yeah.
So I'd always keep a bunch of crap in my pockets, and I still do that with my purse. Like if I don't have like a trash nearby, I just stuff it in my purse.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing that on purpose a little bit more. Like obviously receipts, but like Kurt and I got Chinese, so I kept the little like fortune.
Yes.
And then actually, I don't know if it's gonna work, but he's cooking with a bunch of herbs because he's gonna for Thanksgiving, we're doing this. He wants to do this thing for him and I, which is great. He knows I'm the sous chef. He's going to make this whole Thanksgiving meal that he's always wanted to make because his family usually doesn't allow, like they always do the cooking.
Yeah.
So he's going to smoke a turkey and he's going to do like the brine himself, which is a lot of like rosemary and sage. So he's going to take that stuff after he's done and lay it out and dry it for me. And I'm going to put it in my... I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I was trying to think of like stuff that I could use from like my everyday that like I would want to do that with.
I really like
And I was thinking like all the flowers we have, like we could lose a couple petals and put and put it in there.
Or just go to Dollar Tree and buy more. Literally just to rip apart.
Yeah. But I definitely want to sit down and I want to be inspired like you said.
Well, so that's what Nicole and I on Saturday, we went to Goodwill just to browse the bookshelves to find books specifically to rip apart.
Foot cramp. Sorry.
I was like, I thought you were very offended that I'm ripping apart books.
No, foot cramp. Okay, sorry, it's gone. Continue.
Which is the only way that I can justify doing it, because usually, like...
Was the Goodwill good?
Actually, they have quite a good selection of books. But that's the only way I'm okay with ripping apart a book, is if I buy it specifically to do that.
Yeah.
I actually found some good ones. Like, I found one that's, like, different nature places in the U.S.
Oh,
and
cool.
Like,
that's so awesome.
What else? I found one that's like a gardening book, so it's going to have a lot of like flowers and stuff. And I found a paperback copy that's actually the movie poster edition of Peculiar Children.
Oh, cool.
What is that called?
Yeah. Miss Peregrine's.
Yes. But, you know, so that book has a lot of like weird pictures already. And then like all the chapter pages look like really old wallpaper.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to rip that one up.
Rip it up. I know I'm planning on contacting the local libraries and seeing if they have any books that like can't be sold because they're so in bad shape. Because sometimes people like, I know the Cedar Falls one I've dropped off a lot and they just let me drop off boxes. Now I'm a little bit anal and I put them into categories and then I write on the box what categories are in the boxes, trying to help them out. And then sometimes when I'm in there, I see they have things in the wrong spots and I fix it. And I'm like, maybe I should just, volunteer here and stop being a crazy person. But that's my plan. But I want to go to that Goodwill. I've never been there before.
We'll have to go because I was afraid when I went in there that I was going to see a bunch of stuff that I used to own because we just got rid of a lot of stuff.
Isn't it like so weird when you see stuff you used to own, you like you want to get it back?
Yes.
So what that is.
I was absolutely terrified I was going to see stuff that was mine, but I didn't. Like we basically went straight to the books and then straight to checkout and left.
Yes. Why is that so? I wonder if it's like a psychological thing.
I don't know.
Because like I feel the same way when I give stuff away, I can't see it again. Because if I see it again, I'm going to feel like I need to have it back for some weird reason.
Yes. And even though it also, sorry, I don't know why I said even though, but also Alex did a lot of that cleaning. So there's a lot of it that I'm not 100% sure what went. So,
oh my God,
it just makes me nervous.
I would get so angry. Like you can so tell that like you and Kurt are alike and Alex and I are alike because I did the same thing with Kurt's closet. But the difference is that anything that wasn't garbage, I brought to him and said, hey, do you want this? And if it was a yes, I put it in a tote downstairs. And if it was a no, I gave it to Goodwill or recycled it. But he went through the kitchen he went through the kitchen and I made him show me everything I'm just like super weird.
Which
about
none of it
that.
was like my stuff, or he
No.
would have asked me, but it's just stuff that like, I'm sure if he had asked me, I'd been like, what if we needed something?
I know. That's why Kurt's the same, because the box of stuff is like stuff of duplicates. And I'm like, oh, you can get rid of it. He's like, no, I'll put it in the tote downstairs. And it's like, what are we going to do with it?
And that's exactly why I need Alex to just get rid of it. And then I don't know about it. And then someday, if I'm looking for it,
You buy another
I'll
one.
find out.
That's
I'll
what I told
find out
him. We have like so many duplicates. And I was like, he's like, what is this for? And so I explained it to him. It's like a little like circle thing. It has a little half circle, and you scoop like watermelon.
Like a melon baller.
Yeah, a melon baller. That's what it is. Thank you. And I was like, I mean, we can get rid of it. I used it for the boys' birthdays a couple times. And he's like, well, what if we need it? And I was like, then we'll go buy another one. So now there's this box of like duplicate stuff that I'm like, that's going to go to Goodwill when you're not paying attention, right? Like
Right.
I have to just cleanse myself with stuff. Oh my gosh, how did we get here?
I don't know.
But it's talking about journaling. So my tripod that you guys are on YouTube right now. I got
You guys are on a tripod.
You guys are on a tripod. And I figured out that it can like videotape facing like the camera down.
Yeah.
And I looked up how bullet journals do that, and that's how they
Yes.
do it. So I think I'm gonna like do a video.
Do it.
I don't know how it's gonna go because I'm super like specific about things. I'm working on it. And so I hope it goes well, but I think I'm just gonna put it to music and just kind of just like put it up and see if it goes okay. I like the sounds, so I can keep some of the sounds, like, because I edit for a living, so I can like keep some of the sounds in there, but no music. I don't know.
Yeah, I
like
a
wanna
lot of
do
the ones that I can just watch them do it, and then there's nice music playing. In the background.
The girl who talked the entire time, not really interested in that. I might talk, like, what I think I'm gonna do is do 2 videos. One of just like the music with like also sounds. Like I'm not gonna take out like the ripping or any cutting. But I'm obviously gonna take out some sound because I have 2 dogs and a boyfriend who are loud. And then the other one I might just like do like a little like explanation.
Yeah,
like a little
some of them
like
that
maybe like
talk.
on Instagram, like maybe do like an explanation from there where it's like, this is, but like, what am I supposed to say? Like, the only thing I'll say is like, I got this from Chinese food Kurt and I had. The end.
Some of them, I feel like a lot of the ones that talk are like the tutorials, or like, this is how you get started. But even then, I think, like if you want to have any kind of explanation, you can just have like a little text on the screen.
Exactly. And like, well, the one girl just like talked about her day, and like maybe that's really like, and that's interesting, don't get me wrong. Like if I really liked her and followed her enough, I probably would like that stuff. But like, I did reach out to this girl on Instagram. She is a bull art journaler, and I had asked her about her stickers. Bull art journaler. I was gonna say bullet journaler. And because she was doing she has a Patreon where she posts like a lot of her like designs.
Yes.
Which I found so interesting. She's from Malaysia. She's like a Malaysian girl who loves drawing and dreaming. I don't know how to say Kwan?
I'm not sure.
QIAN.dreaming. So she like draws, and she's so talented. And so this is the one I commented on. Keon? I like Keon. We're gonna go with that. She drew like this little like girl holding like a Santa box with a ghost, and then a person in like a sheet. And she's like, what she does is she just like draws them and puts them on Patreon. And then I was like, well, how do you like print them? She's like, oh, I just go to my local printer and like just have them. So because she doesn't want to have to. We talked about like not wanting to own a printer.
Right.
She's like, oh, I just go and like, and I put printables on my Patreon and stuff, and then you can go print them, and I just cut them out. And I was like, I want to do that.
Right? Yeah, there's a lot of artists that I follow that do some kind of journaling and then have a Patreon, and they just have printables. And that's my only hang up is like, there's a place in Cedar Falls where you can print stuff.
Yeah.
But around here, there's really not.
No, but you could, I mean, we could like get a printer too, but I'm just like,
we have a printer, but it's a lot of upkeep because then you have to like,
because you have to make sure you print it enough so the ink doesn't get old and like all that stuff. But I was like a lot of work. I know. I'm always like, oh, can't you just print it for me and send it to me?
Right?
But yeah, so that's art journaling. Anything else with that? Oh, hey, duh.
Oh, I started a journal account on Instagram. I forgot.
It's so cool. I post. If you go to our Instagram story, I'll post it again, but I have it right there to go so people go follow you.
So it's the Bookish Journaler. I think I only have 3 posts right now. I haven't had a chance to take any pictures of my journal recently, but I'm hoping to do both like art journal and bullet journal.
I think you should do all the journal stuff.
I currently have 5 journals.
Yeah, well, and like so you were like you should like
active,
just
5
a lot
active
of the
journals.
I watched a video. Was it with you of a girl who had like private stuff, and so she just like taped little pieces of paper over it. So you could even do like some of the stuff that you like write in.
I like that.
I really liked that idea. I was like, oh, that's so smart.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I started a new Instagram. I just didn't want to like clutter up my Bookstagram with, because I post my bullet journal on there occasionally, and I think I still will. But well,
you can self-promote yourself.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to like clutter it up with a bunch of journal stuff.
Well, and also explain you don't have a personal Instagram,
right?
So I have a personal Instagram. You don't. You just have your book one. So like I plan on posting just my stuff on my personal one because I'm lazy and I'm not going to be able to keep, I know I'm not, you keep up 5. I'm like, listen, I can handle 1. And I lost it for a little while.
Right. I lost mine for a little while. So I started 2 other ones.
And then I
haven't logged in since.
Yeah. I did look at your old one though. It made me laugh.
Which one?
The Bookstagram that you made when you were
Free
angry.
Bookish Connoisseur. Yeah. I was so mad. And now I keep getting notifications. It's like, free Bookish Connoisseur, you should follow this and this and this. And I'm like, I'm never going to get on that again unless you block me again.
You're like, I'm keeping it in case you do this to me again.
Right.
You put me into
a place
Instagram
to go. I did want to keep up with the Bookish Connoisseur blog. I can't remember exactly what.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
Blog. I wanted to keep up with it, but I haven't kept up with my blog. So.
I know, right? This is like another thing where I'm trying to like, so I do a video, so that means I need to do a blog and I need to post on Instagram and like try to do all the things, like do it one and then, but
it's so hard. Like I want to do all the things, but like I also need another 24 hours in the day to do all the things.
Yes, we need clones. That'd be great. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, that would be amazing. What else? What else?
I don't know. So that leads to creative videos. So I've been like, I have these things going on in my head where it's like, I want to do this thing where it's like, when I'm feeling something, I write it in my notes app.
Yeah.
It's not really a quote. It's just like my feelings, like on a piece, like out of my brain. It helps me just like get past it. Because if I have an idea and I don't get it out of my brain, I can't get past it.
So I have a journal for that.
Yeah. So I just throw it in my notes app and I'm like looking at stuff like I really think that I could show this visually really well with like maybe myself talking over it or someone else. So I've been just like writing down these ideas of like kind of like creative fun videos I want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's one of those things. And then that would go into like blogging more and doing more photography because I'm just like trying to not be so hard on myself and just create. Like the art journals really made me like, okay, you need to create something that like you love it and you miss it and you're so afraid of like making mistakes. But if it's art, it's not, there's no mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. And then I also really need to, I'm almost done with my freaking setup finally. I bought the wrong background. It's way too large because I don't measure.
Oh no.
I'm trying to get better at measuring. I'm just like, oh, I'll just buy it. And if it doesn't work, then I send it back. Kurt's like, Samantha, just measure it and then you have to buy it once. And I'm like, fine. So he helped me measure enough space and it was actually small enough where I can like use it for different things. So that should be here this week.
Did you have to send the other one back then?
Yeah. Well, it was way more expensive. So I was like, I'm going to send this back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so as soon as that's here, I really want to start gaming videos. And then I thought we could like maybe do react videos in that space. And then I want to start streaming.
Oh my God. Kurt is going to love when we invade.
Oh God, he's going to hate it. He's like, oh my cousins. It's all, every time I edit without headphones.
To just go out to the garage when we're there.
Yeah, honestly, because every time I edit without headphones on, I just hear in the other room, and my cousins. It's not even, we're not even at that part in the podcast. And he just yells it. I'm just like,
just yell back, gang gang
gang gang. So I want to start like streaming stuff. I have all of these things I want to do and I just feel like I want to stop finding things to hold me back. Like I think I'm a lot of in my way.
Yeah, I mean I feel the same way. Like I want to do so many things and it's like I also don't want to get off the couch.
I mean,
or like,
same. Well, at least you like sit down and like do your journal and stuff. Like when I get home, I'm like, oh, like I feel selfish sometimes when I'm like, oh, I should be paying attention to these dogs who have been like in their kennels all day, you know, except for like at lunch when Kurt comes home. Like I should do that or I should do laundry. I should, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I put things above it and then I'm like, and then I'm just tired and I'm like, I don't have like the creative like juices anymore to go do it. So I'm hoping to like do that more on the weekends where I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be creative and it's going to be fun.
Yes.
All the creative stuff.
All the creative stuff.
And hobbies. We have so many hobbies.
Oh my God. That's what Alex was just saying tonight. Talking about how I have so many hobbies. Because like we had talked about possibly streaming too.
Yeah.
And then he was like he kind of came to the realization, like, it's probably not going to happen because I already have too many hobbies is what he told me. Because he's like, you know, you podcast on Wednesdays and on Fridays you bullet journal. And then on Sundays you take pictures. And he's like, when are we going to fit it in? Like, we're not.
Well, you don't have to do it like all the time, but I think you guys should still do it if you want to. Who cares?
Right. We'll see. His newest thing is he wants him and I to start a podcast.
Oh, that'd be cute. I'd like that.
Which I always thought would be kind of fun, but also like,
you can hire an editor. I know one.
It's gonna be a lot of me getting frustrated because that's what a lot of
It's pretty fun. I like to poke the fire sometimes, especially the white table.
I really wish that was recorded. The white table. There was another one that was like.
It was the white table and it was something else because then I'll just like say one word and set you off.
Sawzall.
Oh yeah, sawzall. and I just like to poke the fire because I'm like, keep it going. This is entertaining. This is great.
But he just gets so set sometimes because he has always done this, but he talks in, what do I want to say? There's a word for it when you talk in extremes.
Yes.
When you're like all
or nothing.
All people do this or all whatever do this. And I'm like, that's not true. It's not true. And so then we cannot have a conversation about that thing because I can't get him to say that that's not true. You know what I mean? Like we can't even get past that. So I think it could be really funny. Like if we had a podcast where we talked about different topics like that, where we just like get fired up.
Because you and I like get along. Right. We not get along. We agree on all that stuff. We get fired up about stuff, but we don't get fired up at each other.
Well, yeah. A lot of times I think we get fired up about the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like, yes. Completely.
That's why I think sometimes when Alex is there too, then he's like outnumbered.
Yeah. He's always like, I hate it when you guys are here. Because then like, if we're feeling like real feisty, we'll just start picking on it. We're like, let's just, this is your insecurity, this fan outside, we're going to attack it.
Yes. So then I fight with him on purpose.
Yes. And then it's fun.
So yeah, I guess we'll see.
I could be your producer. I'll sit in the corner and just stoke the fire.
Oh my God. You could just come up with weird topics for us to talk about.
That would be so much fun.
I like that.
I would enjoy it a lot.
So we'll see. I was listening to a podcast. I don't know. It's been like a year. I haven't gone back to it because this is what I do. I just find like podcasts and listen to a couple episodes and then move on. But anyway, I was listening to one a while back about, that was a woman and her husband and they just did that. They just talked about random topics every week. So I was like, we could do that. Would anyone listen? I don't know, but we could do that.
Yeah. It'd be a good just time to hang out and, argue.
I mean, that's what we're doing, right?
Yeah, we're more just like hanging out and agreeing on everything.
T-chats,
I love T-chats.
Very chatty.
We're chatty.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And then we talk about all the books we want to read.
Right.
Even Kurt said something's going on because we've talked about how this pandemic has made us like not read a lot. And Kurt's like, I haven't seen you pick up a book, Samantha. He's like, why aren't you reading? And I was like, I don't know. It's just so hard to pick up a book right now because it's just like.
So I have found I wanted to say kryptonite. That's not the right word, but I've been reading thrillers back to back to back.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of started reading again.
Yeah.
I'm reading one right now that's a horror and it's actually scary.
Ooh, you found one.
It makes my skin crawl when I'm reading it at night when I'm alone.
Elizabeth, don't do that. I can't even read like it's kind of scary books when I'm alone.
What is it called? Hold on. I have to look it up.
Well, so don't scare me like that.
We'll have enough time to end it.
We'll have enough time to end it. Just watch the time. I actually the Sherlock Holmes thing like really got me. I think I'm gonna go read
Yay!
who we just talked about.
Yep. Study in Charlotte.
Yes. I think I'm gonna or like those. I think I want to read mysteries.
Yeah.
So like Nancy Drew and like all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna try that avenue because I haven't read a good mystery in a long time.
Well, and I think like mysteries, thrillers, they have that thread, which other books do it too, but they do it in a certain way that they have that thread that just like you have to keep pulling till it's at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It forces you to complete the book.
Right. Like thrillers just do that to me where the second I put it down, I'm like, I wanna keep reading it.
Yeah.
So right now I'm reading The Return by Rachel Harrison. It's just super creepy. It's about this group of friends, these four women, sorry. One of them goes missing for 2 years and then suddenly shows back up.
What?
And so then they go to like a hotel to spend a long weekend together to try and like reconnect. And it's just creepy. It's just creepy. Ugh.
That sounds really good.
It is really good.
Well, tune in next episode to listen to us talk about this again.
Sorry. Well, I'll probably have finished it. I hope I have finished it by next time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a week.
I hope.
I'm going to start reading mystery novels, so I'll be binging those.
Yay, yay, yay.
Yay, yay, yay. Okay. Well, I better get going. Got more tea to drink and books to read, and the timer's going to run out. Who knew that if you record on anything but a high, like any Canon, anything, you have to like record on a high-end video camera, or it's only at 30 minutes.
Silly.
All of our social medias are down below as always. Make sure to rate and review the podcast. It really helps people find us. Subscribe to our podcast on anywhere that you listen to, and YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
We're on the videos.
You can watch us be weird. Oh, hey.
Oh yeah, look at
Wicked
Elizabeth's
Clothing.
new shirt.
It's
I'm gonna
my
go
witch
buy one.
shirt.
I'm gonna go buy one. The Wicked Clothing is
Wicked
so
Clothing.
cute. We have a Patreon.
I'm sorry. This is my Trump is a loser
Oh yeah,
code.
Trump is a loser. I lost my spot. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Over on Patreon, that's fun.
Yeah, become a book witch.
Yes, episodes are early on there. We do other fun stuff. It's just kind of a random dump of our brains.
Brain dump.
Brain dump. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.